Ugh, they can be so picky over there. My point was, if you want to combine croissant and sandwich, a dangerous prospect to begin with, why not conserve syllables and go with Sanson? You think they'd appreciate some galaxy-tested marketing advice. What is this crude map of Foon doing here, with all these push pins stuck into it? Oh, Lincoln is gathering intel. How adorable. Let's just rearrange these to spell out Snarf, the hidden weapon of the Thundercats franchise. Now let's see, who's our sponsor for today? Storyforge, the free consulting service that brings any long-running, potentially meandering narrative to an immersive and satisfying conclusion. No, we don't have time for that. Sit back, imagine biting into a sweet and savory breakfast Sanson, and enjoy the show.
From the Magic Tavern, a weekly podcast from the magical land of Foon. I'm your host, Arnie Niekamp. If you've never listened to the podcast before, this is everything you need to know about 4.5, more than 4.5 years. I should really, I don't want to ask our listeners to send me another spreadsheet, but anyway, between 4.5 and 4 3/3 years.
Can I make a quick suggestion?
Yeah.
How about we start to track days from when we hit the high seas?
Oh.
So since we left Foon, let's start to say, a week ago, we got on a boat.
Okay, well, we just left Draymanshire last week, and so we are at sea now, headed towards Cadaver Falls.
Because otherwise, if you add all this time to it, it becomes this daunting task, right? This Sisyphean sort of effort.
What do you mean by a Sisyphean effort?
In Foonish lore, there is a famous Fian. Do you know Fian?
No.
Okay, well, Fian was this guy, and every day what he had to do was he had to roll a boulder out from in front of his house, and his sister got crushed by the boulder.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a bad effort.
Yeah. And he tried to resuscitate her for days.
That is overwhelming. To just live with that.
Yes.
Like,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think knowing that our podcast has been on for about 4.5 years is like that.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, but anyway, everything you need to know is I fell through a dimensional portal behind a Burger King in Chicago into the magical, fantastical land of Foon. Luckily, I'm still getting a Wi-Fi signal from the Burger King that I use to upload a podcast. We record every week chronicling our quest to defeat the Dark Lord of Foon, and I do it with my buddies, my co-captains, Chunt the Talking Badger,
Bing Bong,
and Usidore the Wizard.
I am Usidore, wizard of the 12th realm of Ephesius, master of light and shadow, manipulator of magical delights, devourer of chaos, champion of the great halls of Tarakas. The elves know me as Fiang Yalak. The dwarves know me as Zonin and Hookstenges, and I am known in the northeast as Gasmoenius Maystar. And there may be other secret names. Names of such great power and portent that if they e'er were uttered aloud, why, the very sound of them would shatter glass for 100 miles around.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's
Can I
magic.
suggest something to you as well, Usidore?
What's that?
Maybe also just a refresh on your names.
What?
Does that make sense? I don't know. Again, we're off on adventure. Now's the time to create our new selves.
But these are titles I have earned over 3 centuries of life. For I was born into this world from a conspiracy of rain and birds and fire and frogs who said, there must be a champion! And I did come into the world fully formed, prepared to fight evil, learning bits of lore and arcane knowledge along the way to make myself even more powerful. Why would I change now?
A no would have sufficed.
Chunt, Usidore is just a very focused person. Like, he knows who he is, he knows what he wants, he's going out and he's getting it. He's defeating the Dark Lord. Chunt, I feel like, are you going through like a midlife crisis?
No.
Oh.
I think you're projecting.
Oh.
Are you going through a midlife
Ooh, are
crisis?
you going through a midlife
Arnie,
crisis?
are you going through a midlife crisis?
Fingers crossed that I'm only at midlife. Yeah, I hope so. Look, I will have to say, ever since I fell into a completely foreign and strange world, I've been having just one kind of crisis after another, but I don't know.
That's also what Fian did.
Oh.
Crisis.
Crisis. Yeah.
It's too late.
Okay.
It's too late.
Okay, so I checked in, Chunt, and you are just 100% fine.
Mm-hmm.
You're good.
I'm good. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good. I'm just saying, why not? It's not like we have to reinvent ourselves, but
Sure.
that Usidore could be, Lil Petey or something.
Little Petey.
Lil.
Little Little Petey.
I take it back.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I think in some ways having adventures is reinventing the show, and spending a lot of time making up names for everybody is kind of not. It's kind of like, that's sort of the last 4 years, right?
All right, it's not my show.
It is your show, buddy. We're in this quest together.
You're right, I'm sorry, okay.
Is anyone else, this is embarrassing to say, is anyone else, like, stuck in a hole through the deck of the ship? I stepped and cracked through the deck a little bit, and I've been kind of stuck here for about a day.
Oh, I was going to say you look a little shorter.
I had some of the bears move the table over closer.
Oh,
That was
to me.
nice.
Yeah.
So you're standing on a table?
Was that Jeffy? Did Jeffy do that for you?
Well, I call him Jeffrey. I'm not as close to him as you two are.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah, he's a big bear. He scares me a little bit. So I give him the respect. I call him Jeffrey. But I'd love for him to be a Jeffy to me.
Well, I think in time, all the bears who are the crew of this ship, the SS Stephanie, will be thine friends if you do so choose to treat them with the respect that you so seldom show anyone.
Yeah, Jeffy has a little song, actually, that he sings. It goes like this. He says, if you wish to call me Jeffy, if that is what you earn, then call me Jeffy is what you shall eventually earn.
Oh.
But he says it's in bear, like bear.
Yeah, he's just
in
like,
bear. Yeah. He's always got
yeah.
a song in his heart.
I just don't know bear. I got to learn bear, you know?
Oh, you should learn the tongue of bear. It's a wonderful, beautiful language, beautiful songs and poetry, a long history since the first bears were born unto the goddess U.
But here's my fear. Is it too late in life to learn bear language? Like, maybe when I was younger and my brain was more open, if I'd, like, been in a sea wreck and, like, washed ashore and I was raised by a bunch of bears, then totally, like, I would, like, know bear. I'd be able to speak bear and understand bear.
Like a barrel child.
Yeah, exactly. Just a total barrel child. Oh.
Well, there are some appetizers that you can eat every day that help you learn languages.
Oh?
Yes.
What appetizers?
There's thought tamales. Yeah, just help with brain power.
Oh, that sounds great.
There's dual pot stickers.
Oh.
They're two little pot stickers stuck together.
Uh-huh.
But you have to eat them every day to get your practice in.
Oh, okay.
Fondant.
Fondant?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it called fondant?
Well, you either fondue or you fondant. There's no try.
Oh, that's true.
That's what the bears say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. Guys, is it just me? Usidore, behind you,
What? Huh?
that bag of apples is sort of moving.
Bag of apples, declare yourself unto Usidore.
Sorry. Sorry. I don't mean to go where I shouldn't be. I was just.
Here, let me open this bag.
Oh, Golgi Willikers!
Is it a bunch of talking apples?
No, there's a halfling inside. This is not just a bag of apples. It's one of those bags filled with apples and halflings.
Oh, this is embarrassing. Sorry. I was just crawling in the floorboard space and saw your foot come through earlier today, and I crawled up in it, and then I was in these apples, and now I'm here, and I don't mean to intrude, but...
there's no need to apologize. Are you from the Midwest?
A foon?
Yeah?
Well, I don't really have a good sense of direction.
Oh, I know what that's like.
I fled through the night recently, and I've been inside the same building for about 7 years.
Oh.
So,
Like your home?
yeah, like a home, yeah.
Well,
Here,
have a
friends,
seat.
sit,
Yeah,
yes.
sit at our table.
Here, have some seawater.
Could I stick to the apples?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Here, let's pull your apple bag over to the table.
We gotta bring this show to you.
Please, friend, what is thy name?
Hello, my name is Endwhill the Meek.
Oh.
Endwhill. It is a pleasure to meet you, Endwhill. I must ask, what sort of structure had you confined for 7 years, but was not your home? This is not a riddle.
Best I could tell, it was a tree house, a very elaborate tree house, in the middle of a large cemetery.
Sounds like it's got a lot of character.
Yeah, it's got charm. If you've got the right sensibilities. mostly indoors, occasionally sent out at night. It wasn't really a good situation. I made the best of it.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for greener pastures.
Was the rent too high?
Well, there was no rent. It was more of a barter system.
Oh, okay.
I worked for my room and board and life and all that.
You worked for your life. Endwhill, blink if you were held captive.
Listeners, he is blinking in now.
Blinking up a storm.
Yeah, although, he was blinking a lot before you asked that question
That's
as
fair,
well. He's
yeah.
he's just really worked up.
Yeah.
I suppose that's my first question for you, gentlemen. I've been listening to you talk for a little while now.
Oh.
And you were discussing
A
this...
fan.
this colour me excited. You were talking about this peapod thing. Some sort of messaging system. Who exactly is hearing these peapods?
Oh, well, I'm from another world. I'm not from Foon. I fell through a dimensional portal, and I brought this equipment with me, and we are broadcasting everything we say to my world, where people are listening. Beyond that, it's so hard to know, exactly who's listening. I mean, we'd love to have more data on that.
But we assume people are listening, right? Is that
assume
why you called it a
people are
peapod?
listening.
Because people are listening to the podcast?
Broadcasting. Are we talking about the arcane? Casting.
Yeah.
It is like magic, but what happens is the sounds of our voices are sent magically to Arnold's world, and then sent magically to these tiny little metal devices that people of that world can use to put the sound directly into their heads. I think it's some sort of mind control.
Well, fuck a duck. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It is.
That must be more sailor language. Have you ever been out on sea, Endwhill?
No, just this journey we're on the SS. What was it?
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Yes.
Oh, that's enough.
Fuck a duck. Oh, that is fun to say.
Now, Endwhill, I must ask, did you leave of your own free will, or was this more of an escape situation?
You guessed you hit the nail right on the head. See, I've been working for a gentleman by the name of Frasgard, the Incorrigible. He's the one who called me Meek, and I think maybe he was correct to do so, but it's largely of his...
No, you're not Meek. Guys.
That's kind of you to say.
Really? That really set him back on his heels,
Let's
saying
get him
he's
some more
not
confidence.
meek.
Let's get him some more confidence. You're not Meek. Just me still?
So this
Guys.
So this was a name you did not give yourself.
Well, Endwhill is my name. It was given to me by my parents.
Is that short for End William?
No, but I think I like that better.
Is it short for Edwin Will?
Will what?
I don't know. I guess that's for you to decide.
Well, that's what I mean to do now. I'm moving forward. As long as these peapods are not going to get back to Frasgard, my master.
Oh, no. I mean, I can't imagine how that
Unless
would happen.
Frasgard's a sponsor.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and we have sponsored some evil people, but mostly good.
Yeah.
But you know what? Here's my promise to you, Endwhill.
Yes.
This is a safe space for you to tell your story. It is a safe space in that the podcast is safe. I can't promise you. This is a very...
Kind of a rickety old
It's
ship.
a really rickety
run
ship.
by
so
bears,
there's a
so-
good chance that we will sink and die. But so in that way, it is not safe. But in the way that
It is emotionally safe!
Well, partially I feel a lot better, but in other ways I am feeling a little on edge.
Well, you get back up from the edge here. Get closer to
oh, so close to the edge of the
We're
boat.
on
Yeah,
the
pull
precipice.
this-
Yeah,
oh.
Let me just put the bag of apples up there and I'll sit on top of that because you gentlemen are all a little bigger than I am. We were talking about Frasgard.
Yeah, I'd love to hear about
Frasgard.
Frasgard.
My master. I was just a young halfling growing up with my parents. And Frasgard showed up one night and shoved me into an earthen vessel full of mandrake roots, which screamed for days on end and robbed me of my confidence which I had as a child.
Oh, no.
And when he opened the lid, we were in his treehouse in the middle of a cemetery. And he told me that he needed an assistant to take notes, to dust his owl collection, taxidermy, that is.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I
so
was
they
gonna
were
say,
not live
Hours
owls.
a day. No. They were all dead. Everything there is dead. Necromancer, this one is.
Oh, that's a dark form of magic.
What do you know of it?
Oh, I am a great wizard of Foon. I know all of the types of magic that exist. The necromancers. We do know one necromancer, of course, that Dripfang, evil person that he is. Although a great chef and I respect him a lot. but I hate him. I'm not familiar with Frasgard, though. What sort of necromancy was his wheelhouse?
Oh, wheelhouse, that is, apt as you should say that. You know, he started in the arcane, but over time he started to dip into something called science. I don't know what these mean.
Oh, yeah, you're sort of doing air quotes with your fingers, or little bunny rabbits.
I always thought they were hooks.
Oh.
Aren't these hooks?
That's how you hook into that word so that people know to pay attention to it.
Yeah, you got to grab onto a word sometimes and kind of peek up over the ledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, originally, I would catalogue and organise all of his components and ingredients and whatnot. Newts, owl feathers and their turds, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Newts,
eventually...
you said?
Newts.
Oh, newts. I'm
Newts.
sorry.
Yeah, sometimes if a wizard is corresponding with another necromancer, they might say send newts.
Send newts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just if they run out. It's like a neighborly thing.
He told me never to do that. He said it always led to bad things.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It does seem like a pathway downwards, yes. But Endwhill, is it possible that Frasgard's dabblings in science, for in our travels, we have learned much of science, and much of Arnie's world is based in science. Not all science is evil. I have come to learn and come to accept, though magic is, of course, better than science. Everyone knows. What sort of end goal did he have for this science? Did he wish to hurt people or to help people?
Well, he didn't tell me many of the details, but I think that we lived in a cemetery full of his family.
Oh.
And he always talked about feeling lonely, which I took as a bit of a slight on myself, but he always wanted company. He always talked about his cousins and his second cousins and his third cousins and so on and so forth. And, it only ever worked once. We got his grandma Nan up for about a week, and that came with... So he has these metal spikes that I would have to go dig up Nan. And I'd bring Nan in at night and put her back during the day. But at night, we'd stick these sticks into her, and then he'd put me into this giant brass wheel, and I'd have to run all night long.
Oh.
And there would be these lights that would light up when I ran, and that's why I'm so lean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some people call it Atkins, but for me, it's just the wheel. It's just the wheel, day in and day out. At night, I would run and bring up his
Nan.
Nan.
So the friction that you caused created a current of lightning that was then fed into Nan, and Nan did rise from that?
Well, just the one time.
Just the one time?
Yeah, and she really just complained and sort of chewed his ear off.
Oh, so you were working in a lab late one night?
Yeah, every night.
Oh, I see. Interesting. Do you think that he has some nefarious purpose and wishes to raise more of the dead?
Well, there were about 87 or so he spoke of. Distant relatives, close relatives, friends of the family.
Can I ask something? When you brought, Grandma back to life or any other relatives, when they brought back to life, would you call them Frasgard? Or would you call them like Frasgard's mother or Frasgard's cousin or Frasgard's...
Well, I was told not to directly speak to or look at any of his relatives. I just heard that one speaking. High, shrill voice she had. Just sounded like... Frasgard spoke several languages.
Ooh.
And Foonish is the only thing we ever spoke into each
Yeah,
other.
the common
Sure.
tongue. Yeah.
You speak Foonish very well.
Oh, thank you.
Arnie,
I
you
don't
speak
know
a few
how-
languages, right? You're trying to learn Bear, but what other...
I'm trying to learn Bear.
are
I
some
know
other languages?
Well, I know English,
Okay.
which is one of the languages from my world.
What does that sound like?
It sounds very similar to this. I've really lucked into the fact that Foonish sounds a lot like English. I don't know if it's magic
I wonder if
or...
there's something to that.
I have no idea, but I am very curious to learn more, for I have spent some time upon Earth studying it. But right now, I think to assist Arnie in his endeavors to learn Bear, I think the three of us, who clearly all speak Bear, should just speak Bear and help him assimilate that way. Is this helping?
Look, I don't have time to learn the whole language, but I think I'm catching up some of the bear necessities. Just the simple bear necessities.
Oh, very clever, very clever.
Didn't you say you also know Hog Spanish?
I know a little bit of Pig Latin.
Oh, yeah. Can we hear some?
Ixnay on Ig Latin pay.
You'll never decipher this strange language. Oh, I have studied it for hours and hours, trying to understand its arcane meaning, and it does still escape me.
Yeah, the end just becomes the beginning. It's a full circle.
What?
Huh?
Is that it?
I'm just saying, like, it's nonsense. The end becomes the beginning.
Oh, yes. Oh.
Well, I think we're going to take a quick break. Before we do, is there anything we can do to put you at ease? I mean, do you need some new clothes? I mean, what you're wearing is pretty tattered.
Well, if you
just
have
holding-
anything that's the right size, I guess
Yeah.
you're the closest in size. Do you?
Oh,
Do you have clothes?
I don't, but let me...
You got a lot of hats.
I got a lot of hats, or I could shave my pelt and you could wear that.
Oh, that seems a bit rude. You know what I mean? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
oh, yes, that's fair. Yeah,
Little naughty.
Yeah, I'd be a little exposed. Why don't you just currently hold these apples strategically in front of you, and I'll go see if I can find some clothes for you.
Okay, one here and two up here.
I wouldn't call that strategic, but he put one in front of his neck and two above his eyes. But
It's all about the strategy.
that's a bit rude, but we'll be right back with more hello from the SSS Stephanie.
"'Tis I, Usidore, and I command thee. Go to patreon.com/Magic Tavern right now and become a member and get all of our wonderful bonus content.
All right, Chunt, were you able to scrounge up some clothes for Endwhill?
Yeah, what I did, Frederick the bear likes to wear capes, so I just got him a cape that's about his Endwhill size, and I just hung it from his neck forward.
Can we talk about Frederick for a second? Since
Sure.
you brought it up.
Sure.
I think it's an affectation. Wearing capes as a bear?
I think
What are you doing?
He pulls it off.
I disagree. I think it is ostentatious. Have you ever seen a bear in a cape, Endwhill?
Oh, I haven't seen a bear in about 8 years, but it's never in a cape.
See?
Sometimes in trousers are like lederhosen, but never in a cape.
Of course,
Well,
bears will-
yeah, lederhosen or trousers, that makes sense, but a cape?
Uppity is what my parents would call them.
Thank you. Oh, but that reminds me. You said you were separated from your parents. Did you ever find out what happened to them?
Oh, well, they were storytellers in our village.
Oh.
They were sort of the stars of the show. I led a life of halfling luxury and abundance. People would come from all around the village and listen to my mother and father. They spoke in, it's funny you talked about the Spanish.
Oh, Pig Latin?
My parents spoke in French Eagle.
Oh.
Feeling a bit nostalgic now.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to like put this on you, but I would love to hear a little French Eagle.
Well, I don't know that it translates well. I can do my best to communicate it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
It would be our pleasure.
It was rhythmic, and there's a type of poetry in French Eagle that comes with years of experience with it. But I think you can still enjoy the musicality of it. It sounds a little bit something like this. This is 200 years old. This piece.
Oh.
That's.
Pure poetry.
I am nothing like my father and mother was.
I think that was
Yeah,
beautiful.
that was beautiful.
I love birds. It's well established that I am a big fan. And so hearing the beautiful language of halflings interpreting French Eagle is a wonderful thing for me. And I would like to give you a gift in return. I know you're starting your life out here again, good Endwhill, and I would like to grant you this.
And while he's grabbing that gift, Endwhill, on a scale of 1 to 10, how great is French Eagle for the throat?
It takes years of training to get your pipes in a place where it can last, and that was just the preamble to a very long, beautiful, somewhat ribald, epic ballad about the history of the halfling people.
Gotta hear the rest of this later. Sorry, Usidore.
Although I'm sorry, and I'm actually not that sorry in delaying Usidore, but Endwhill, your parents, it must be such difficult strain on their vocal gift. Like, did they have any like tips or tricks or things they would do to maintain their voices?
Well, an egg a day is what my mother would say, and my father used to sit in a tree and squawk at passers-by just for, to keep the muscles limber. You can't do it just every once in a while, certainly not for a first time in 8 years.
That repetition.
Sure.
Yeah, repetition is key.
Arne Usidore.
Yeah.
I think his parents died and he was raised by birds.
What?
His mother was all about an egg a day, clearly laying them.
Yeah.
his dad would be up in a tree squawking at passerbys?
So you think
They spoke French Eagle?
He spoke it so well.
I think
Gosh,
I think he's
so lucky.
Here, I know a task. Endwhill, your parents, when they were speaking French Eagle, were they, let's see, this is a weird question, but were they covered in feathers and did they have beaks?
Well, I mean, they did wear feathered clothing.
Okay.
Yes, they had robes and
A lot of
hats,
plumage.
elaborate hoods,
Okay.
and yeah. I mean, some might call it ostentatious, but they were performers.
Well,
So-
maybe this will help. I'm just curious, and this is a question I ask about anybody's parents. When they ate, would they shit almost immediately?
Well, I mean, yes, but that's just the way it's done in halfling villages.
I got one. A lot of.
I mean, who among us has not had their mother chew up food and spit it in their mouth and feed them as a child?
Now I don't know. Now I'm back to maybe they were real. This is a tough nut to crack.
Now, I don't think we're going to answer this question today, so I still want to give you my gift. Here. This is a small bag. It is enchanted. It's not as large as the apple bag you're sitting on, but whenever you reach into this magical bag, it will pull out an apple. You'll never go hungry again.
It's not nothing.
Should I try it now?
Go ahead, grab an apple out of there.
You're not punking me, are you?
I would never do such a thing. I am not like Frasgar the Incorrigible. I am Usidore, the great blue wizard of Foon, here to help defeat evil and raise up the low.
But in full disclosure, Usidore has been pitching to me a spin-off podcast called Wizard Punks, where he would just be just like punking and pranking.
Now, wizard pranks between wizards are very fun and interesting. For instance, my sweet lady love, Genevia the Red, who we just saw, we've often pulled magical pranks on one another. For instance, she will come to my hovel and I will have transformed myself into a great griffin hiding on top of the roof. She can see me, but she's like, that's probably just a griffin on the roof. And then I go, ha, it was me the whole time.
Right, well, that's equal footing between the two of you, but if one of you is not a wizard or a mage of some sort, I imagine there's a power dynamic there.
Exactly. Genevia pulls tricks on me. She's well known for turning into different types of foods and hiding herself in my bed.
Old rack of ribs herself.
Old rack of ribs.
And Will, just to kind of, we've given you clothing, although that cape just covering the front of you leaves a little to be desired in the back. We fed you. We've given you a never-ending bag of apples. What we want to do next is kind of set you up to be on your own, maybe rejoin the workforce or...
I'd very much like that. I don't want to go back, and I don't want this peapod to get back to Frasgard.
Of course,
he will find me. He is vindictive. He has held grudges against dead people for decades.
He's really getting worked up.
Arnie, there's an old saying in food. Give a man a rabbit, and he shall eat for a day. Teach a man to hunt a rabbit, and he shall feed himself for a lifetime. We wish to give you the tools you need to succeed.
So let's suss out your skill set. What skills do you... have a seat over here on the stool.
Oh, all right.
What are your skill sets?
Well, I have done cooking and cleaning for 7 years.
Okay.
I am able to do upkeep on taxidermy and replacing stuffing and the like.
A little less useful, but...
Yeah, I mean, dusting dead owls is kind
But
of
maybe it's a niche, like it's more
just
of a
like
specialized
niche.
skill.
We'll put it under... Let's put that under special skill.
Okay.
All right.
What was the reason for you leaving your last job?
Oh, well, a concern for my psychological status
Okay.
and long-term health reasons.
Arnie, it sounds like he was fired. Can we contact your previous employees?
Oh, please don't. Are you going to send the people?
Oh, right.
I
Yes,
thought we
of
were
course.
going
Yeah,
to
no,
send
no,
the
no,
people.
no, of course. I'm so
No,
sorry.
no.
I forgot.
all right.
Do you have any references?
Well, there's just Grandma Nan is the only one from the last 5 years.
Okay.
Could I go farther back than 5 years?
Yeah.
Usidore, could you check up on his references? Is there a way that you could just magically talk to Grandma Nan in the next world?
Sure. Let me escape to the astral plane for but a moment.
Normally, we wouldn't do this in front of you, checking in on your references. I guess that's a little
It's a
confrontational.
little gauche, but
yeah.
That is very unsettling.
Yes. Well, I spoke to Grandma Nan.
Okay.
And what she said was, please don't raise me from the dead again. It was a hellish nightmare, and I want to stay here in the unknown, inexplicable worlds beyond this one. And it was a pure hell to be back on Foon, and
Sounds like she's being polite and doesn't want to vouch for you.
but she said the only thing that made it bearable at all was the fact that Endwhill was so nice to me after my grandson did the horrible misdeed of raising me from the dead.
Oh, that's a plus.
Well, I did put a wig on top of her skull, and she seemed to appreciate that very much. Very much.
I'm putting that under special skills.
Wig on a skull.
Hairdressing.
What's your biggest strength?
My biggest strength would probably be unending patience and endurance.
That's good. That's good.
Well, we don't know if it's unending. I mean, it stopped after 7 years, so we could assume or extrapolate. But,
You got me there. That might have been hyperbole, but certainly I can last a while, and I think I could be good offering myself up for scientific experimentation.
And also, you know what, Chunt? Foon is changing. There was a time when people would stay at the same job for 100, 200, 300 years. But now I think like the new Foon, people are embracing like only being captive for 7 years, escaping and just finding something new for themselves.
It's a gig economy.
What's your biggest weakness?
Probably my weakness.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a good.
That's
a
right
good one.
there. That's right
Now,
there in the name.
You've mentioned a few things earlier when we were speaking to you that you didn't mention here when we were interviewing you, and I don't want you to overlook some of your strengths. You're very good at running that brass wheel. You kept that going, so that's a physical
Endurance.
attribute, like physical endurance, on
Yes.
top of mental endurance.
Not a muscle man, but
Yes.
I can go the distance.
That's
I
right.
can go the distance for you, gentlemen, you badgers, you bears,
Shapeshifter?
You're a shapeshifter?
He is a
Yeah.
shapeshifter.
I'm usually a badger, but I am a bit of a shapeshifter. I've been known to occupy another animal.
What is the craziest thing you've ever turned into?
Kind of like this. He's holding up his end of the conversation, asking me about me. Craziest thing I've ever turned into would probably be, last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, I turned into the concept of whaling.
Like keening, yeah, not the concept of hunting whales, which would be really bad, but the concept of keening or just wailing into the night sky.
I wonder if I could turn into the concept of hunting whales.
Don't do
it was
that.
really hard to pull myself back together after it became the idea of a whale.
Yeah.
WAIL,
Oh,
right?
sure.
Oh, what? This is fun. Can I test you? Can you turn into the smell of lilacs?
That smells like a fart.
No, I guess I can't.
You know, I wouldn't know the difference.
See,
Sounds all right to me.
I thought the craziest thing you ever turned into was that bat with the googly eyes.
I mean, that was pretty crazy.
Oh, googly eyes,
That's
those are
pretty
so
crazy.
funny.
Endwhill, can I ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I would like very much to be alive, a little fatter,
Good start.
just a little bit of more flesh on my bones.
Room for growth.
I could see myself in an admin job, or possibly doing maybe data entry in some sort of library, or
Arnie, just so you know, admin job is you're adventuring with minotaurs, but they shorten it because that's hard to roll off
yeah,
the tongue.
you add a halfling to a minotaur, it gets a little bit taller, not a lot. That's average.
In case it needs to reach something on a shelf, or just intimidate your foes. From a distance, you're like, that's a tall-ass minotaur.
Yeah, I guess that was a gross oversight on my part. I am very good at being a hat.
Yeah.
Well, I think you have a bright future ahead of you, and anything that you put your mind to, I think you can accomplish, for you've shown that you can endure great hardship and still come out with a good attitude and a plucky spirit. I am so impressed that I am going to grant you another gift. Another enchanted bag. Every time you reach into this bag, you'll pull out a small paring knife with which you can cut up your apples. A new paring knife every time you want one.
They go together.
Yes.
2 bags? The only thing that could make this better would be a 3rd bag with peanut butter in it.
Oh, do you get one of those?
Well, don't you worry. Here you are. I was going to save it till the very end, but a peanut butter bag just for you.
Wait, is the bag peanut butter, or is there peanut butter in the bag?
Every time you put your hand into the bag, you'll pull out a handful of peanut butter.
Where the fuck have these bags been the whole time?
I know.
What do you mean? I can enchant anything. I'm a great wizard.
really...
Here, give me something to enchant. Anything. I don't give a shit. I'll enchant it.
I don't want you to enchant something. I want to see what else you can have people pull out of bags.
Oh, very good. Well, here.
Have a bag where every time we reach in, we pull out a Dark Lord.
Yeah, could you enchant this apple slice with a layer of peanut butter on it?
Of course.
It's hot to the touch.
Yes, it does get hot. That's the one drawback. Every time you pull an apple out or pull some of the peanut butter out, it gets hotter and hotter. You have to let it cool off.
Oh, nothing better than a hot paring knife.
Wait, where does this stuff come from? Is it just being magically created from nothing, or are you...
Duh.
Oh, okay.
I am connected to the realms of Ephesius, where all the sources of magic and the arcane, Byzantine, unknowable forces of nature coalesce, and I do draw my power from light and shadow from that realm.
I kind of like to imagine that someone somewhere in Foon was about to eat an apple, and then a hand just comes out of nowhere and grabs it.
Yeah, right?
That's kind of fun.
Well, I mean, I can give you a bag like that, too. Do you want a bag that creates apples or a bag that steals apples?
How many bags do you have?
How about a bag to carry his bags? Because now he has 3 bags. That's kind of a burden. We've given him a burden.
Here, this is just a nice bag to put the other bags in.
He's not a muscle man.
I am starting to lose track of which bags are which.
I know.
I would recommend different colors for the different bags. These all are burlap.
Oh, guys, can I... real quick session.
Oh, sure.
It seems like he's getting overwhelmed when we give him too many tasks. He's becoming overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But he did have a good idea to color code the bags.
Yeah.
So I feel like he is able to kind of be in the workforce. But
And I think, maybe some hiring people wouldn't appreciate this, but I think it's a good thing if you're willing to speak to seeing a problem, not just always saying yes I can do that, yes I can't do that.
Yeah, and I guess also on the downside, his parents is birds.
Oh, right. His parents is birds.
His parents is birds. Is that on the downside?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Just in terms of I don't know, that just seems like a weird thing to kind of have.
Well, I don't know. My parents are birds.
Oh shit, Arnie, can I talk?
Also, I guess I just realized. Yes. What?
Is it weird that you saw parents as birds and wind and fire?
I mean, it's the wind and fire part that's a little more weird. Yeah.
Have we ever met his parents?
No.
I don't want to have a wet bird on fire over for dinner.
Yeah, that would be, might be delicious.
Yeah. Oh.
But you know what? I just realized something. I think legally we're not allowed to ask him in an interview if his parents is birds, and we could be in a lot of trouble. We got to smooth this over.
Right. Yeah, right.
So, Endwhill.
Usidore, you're hired.
Oh, good.
Endwhill, we have something to tell you.
We think you're great. We think all's will that ends will. And we, if we were in a position where we were hiring, we would definitely hire you. And we just hope that this experience is helpful.
Keep applying, and eventually.
Sure, practice makes perfect, and this is getting me back in the workforce. So, even if it wasn't a total win, it wasn't a failure neither. So, thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys could write me a recommendation.
Sure.
Oh, gladly. I would absolutely write you a recommendation, Endwhill.
Let's see here. The Bloated Rabbit
This is too forward for me to ask.
in Cadaver Falls. It's a great place to stop in and get a bite to eat. That's my rec.
It's not too forward for you to ask. I think you should start to have more confidence, have more autonomy and ownership over your life.
Ooh, what can we change Meek to?
It's better to ask forgiveness than to beg for forgiveness.
Carry the 2. 3. Got it. Okay.
Well, Endwhill, thank you so much for stowing away on this ship with us and talking with us about what's going on with you.
Oh, well, it's my great pleasure. This feels like maybe we're moving on. Does that mean I have to jump off the boat or get on?
Oh, we can throw you off.
Not just yet. Let Chunt read an email first and see if you can help answer this question.
Yeah, maybe if you help with anything, that maybe we can reconsider your application here. Although I don't know if this is a question. This is an email here we have from Emerald Holsing. And of course, you can email us at any time at magictavern@puppies.supplies.
That's my email address.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or you can email me at chunt@gmail.com. That's Chunt with 6 T's. Hello, Arnie, Chunt, and Usidore. I'm not quite caught up in the podcast. Oh, should we stop there? Should we not read the rest of that?
I mean, if we didn't read emails that started like that, we wouldn't be able to read barely any emails.
That's fair. I told myself I wouldn't email until I was caught up, but I couldn't help but do so on this particularly bad day. I found Hello from the Magic Tavern about a month ago, and I'm now on season 2, episode 83. Oh, wow. 183 episodes, and I take it back.
That's unhealthy.
This podcast helps clear the clouds of my mind and provides a distraction, allowing me to get through the day. Perhaps not the best coping method, but you guys get me through the day sometimes when it's hard. Thank you, Emerald. That's pretty nice.
That is
So
very nice.
nice.
That's very
Oh,
nice.
he's very nice.
It's so funny that people have the experience of listening to the show and it improves their lives, and it seems to ruin ours.
Yeah.
It's fascinating the way people connect, you know, through
Yeah.
through Gmails and French Eagle and necromancy. It's just that you never know it's going to bring people together.
Yes, you mentioned a moment ago, and I didn't want to ignore this, or gloss over it, a new name for yourself.
Ooh.
Endwhill the Meek. You wish to find a new appellation that fits thee better now.
Yeah, what if it was like Charles the Meek?
Charles the Meek. I like Charles.
Wait, Arnie, what?
Well, I think he wanted to change the meek part, but
The
it
Meek
also
part's the catchy part. That's the part people
I don't know,
remember.
but he wants something proactive, like the in charge or something. You know, so you could be like Charles in charge.
How about try this on? Endwhill, the halfling who could be a hat or dust off your stuffed animals.
You know what I like about it is it's pithy.
Ooh, no, you know what? I think I have it.
Oh.
Your new name is Startwill.
Startwill.
Because this is just the beginning of your new life. Wait, does it sound too much like Cartwheel? Be honest.
a little bit,
Little bit.
yeah.
No,
And-
no. I like it. I just cut off the past.
Startwill the Fresh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's good.
Usidore, give me one of those.
Fresh as a magic apple from a bag.
Give me one of those magic
Yeah.
bags. Oh,
There you
and
go.
here I got you a parting gift. This is a bag where anytime you reach into it, it'll be endless letters of recommendation.
These are just apples. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong bag.
The
Look at
bags are
these.
very confusing.
The bags all look alike. I do apologize.
But
for
apples
them.
are a recommendation for health.
Now, there is one last bag. Here. Startwell, if you climb inside and we throw it over the side of the boat, you'll magically appear back on land.
That just looks like a burlap sack.
This really seems like the pumpkin we discussed earlier.
It would be a pretty good punk.
Well, then how would you get back to land without us? I don't suppose your parents taught you how to fly, did they?
Well, they never taught me. They never trusted me, you know, and then by the time I was getting near old enough, I got shoved in a pot with mandrakes. But,
Oh, man. Drake
But
is the worst.
guys, we're gonna be in Cadaver Falls in just a couple days. I know this episode's almost done, but if you want to hang out with us on the ship until we get to land, you can.
Arnie.
Yes, stay with us for a little while. Arnie, you get in the bag.
There you go.
No.
well, good
Oh,
on.
now he's just still stuck in the floorboards, but knocked over.
I'll tell you what, because you've been so nice to me, I don't think you're punking me. Although, someone has been trying to kill me for several years, so I'm a little slow to trust. But you three are making an exception. Can I just look in the bag?
Of course.
Just poke my head in.
Yes, take a look here. Here.
Oh,
Hi.
excuse me. It keeps going.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bigger on the inside, yes.
Look at this. There's roots in here. There's a tunnel just going. Hold on. How deep does this go?
As deep as you like.
I see the beach. I'm going for it.
Go for it.
Like my mother and father always said, gentlemen.
Yeah, I still can't tell if they're birds or not.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna miss him.
I'm gonna miss him too. I'm gonna paint these bags.
Let's all paint these bags.
Usidore, do you have any idea where he went to?
A beach?
Yeah. Wait a second. Where'd my watch go?
Oh, that little fuck. That fucking duck.
Where's
that
my
mother.
watch?
Oh, fuck a fucking duck.
Dune buggies.
Usidore, where's your wand?
What? What a halfling thief. Were we being tricked this entire time?
Wait. Where's my dusty owl? Fuck!
Oh,
motherfuck! It's cleaned.
Oh, he's somewhere on a
He
beach.
cleaned my fucking owl.
He's just escaped and he's on a beach, living the high life like at the end of Shawshank Redemption or something. That's how that movie goes, right?
I've never seen it.
Everyone knows Shawshank Redemption ends with Tim Robbins saying, "Gosh, I'm hungry after all that time in prison. You know what sounds tasty? Scenery for about 12 minutes of Spielberg's War of the Worlds. Nom 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 nom." Usidore the Wizard was played by Matt Young. Chunt the Shapeshifter was played by Adal Rifai. Endwhill the Meek was played by Liam O'Brien. Liam plays Caleb Wittogast of the Mighty Nine on Critical Role, the weekly hit web series where a group of friends who happen to be professional voice actors, sort of a group of anti-Matt Youngs, play Dungeons & Dragons. Find out more about Critical Role at critroll.com and by following them on Twitter at Critical Role. Follow Liam at Voice of O'Brien. Hello from the Magic Tavern is produced by Arnie, Niekamp, Matt Young, and Adal Rifai. Post-production coordination by Garrett Schultz. Earwolf producer, Kimmie Lucas. This episode edited by Sage GC. Welcome, Sage. If you're some kind of double agent sent by an enemy podcast to destroy us from within, please hurry. You know how when a tiny child is petulantly demanding to help in the kitchen, so you give them some empty task that doesn't affect much of anything, like stacking the napkins? Special assistance by DiGiorgi. Hello from the Magic Tavern logo by Allard Laban. Magic Tavern theme by Andy Poland. Sea Shanty version of the theme by Arnie Parrott. Speaking of songs no one requested, I've intercepted a fan song from Patrick O'Rourke. It's already online, but so is that half-an-hour video explaining how Rey and Kylo are actually the reanimated legs of Darth Maul, so too late to be choosy. Follow Patrick on Twitter at PatLikesToTweet. And now here's Join the Quest to defeat the Dark Lord. If you like music, you haven't been properly prepared for what's about to happen.
I am Usidore, wizard of the 12th realm of Ephesius, master of light and shadow, manipulator of magical delights, devourer of chaos, champion of the great halls of Turocus. The elves know me as Fienga, the dwarves know me as Shonen in Hookstanges, and I am known in the northeast as Gaspoini's Maystar, and Arrow of the Steel Nefs. Wizard, 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 get wet. Manipulator of magical delights, manipulator of magical delights, manipulator of magical delights, manipulator of manipulator of magical delights, 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 manipulator of magical get wet. The elves and dwarves know me. 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 The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not. The elves and dwarves know, and I know not I am Usidore, wizard of the 12th realm of Theseus, master of light and shadow, manipulator of magical lights, devourer of chaos, champion of the great halls of Turkus. The elves know me as Fiend, the dwarves know me as Junin and Hookstangers, and I am known in the northeast as Gasparinius Maystar, and Earwolf.
Get wet.
Hey, thank you for listening to Hello from the Magic Tavern. A great way to support the podcast is to join our Patreon. You'll get ad-free versions of our entire back catalog, including all the Magic Tavern spin-offs like Offices and Bosses, I Am Spin Tax, Shadow Sit, there are a lot of them. There are 2 new exclusive bonus episodes every month, Discord, all kinds of stuff.
To get more information, go to patreon.com/Magic Tavern. That's patreon.com/Magic Tavern.